Last April, the Colts take you with the final pick in the draft. It's been almost a year. What was that first year in the NFL like for you?
It was definitely kind of a whirlwind. You know, you blink once and it's already over. It was so much fun. It's always fun when you win games, and we were fortunate enough to win 11 games, go to the playoffs, and had a great coaching staff, a lot of great teammates, great support from just the state of Indiana, and then up here, the Northeast community. It's been awesome, and so excited moving on into this year.
Everybody talks about the speed when they move up from college to the NFL. Was that the first thing that you noticed about the game?
I would say speed was definitely one of them, but I think just the complexity. I think from high school to college, it's more of a physicality thing, and then from college to the NFL, it's more of a mental thing. Just understanding the playbook, studying harder, and you have to anticipate things happening. And if you don't, you won't make it. And I'm still learning a lot of things, still have a long way to go, but definitely learned a lot this year. And like I said, I'm excited moving forward.
4 preseason games, you got a lot of snaps in there for the Colts. What did you take away from those preseason games that you played in that helped you improve as a player?
I think just the experience in general. I know it's kind of cliche to say, but taking those reps is so invaluable to my development, and I believe I got like 7.5 full quarters of football, which is huge for a preseason for any player. And just understanding the speed of the game, anticipation, like I said earlier, just being able to make the throws on time, and knowing when to throw it away or tuck it and run at certain situations in the game were huge for me. And hopefully I continue to get a lot of experience moving forward. I think it'll just help my development process.
Seeing the games on TV, you saw you down on the sidelines for the first 5 games you were inactive, then put on the practice squad for the Colts for the rest of the season. What was it like being a part of such a resurrection for this Colts franchise?
I think it was just, it was kind of just unbelievable, because I've been a Colts fan my whole life, and to see him go 2-14 is really hard, because a lot of people just really value the Colts and have a lot of faith and a lot of hope in them, and I mean, it really kind of gets you through the fall and through the winter months. I remember if the Colts would lose on a Sunday, I would be sick as a kid, and I could see where people were coming from. So to kind of resurrect and bring back that pride and that just excitement to the state of Indiana was huge, and so much fun to be a part of, and the fact that we did it the right way. We have a first-class organization, starting with our owner, Mr. Irsay, and then Ryan Grigson, our GM, and our head coach, Coach Pagano. They've set such a great foundation that it's hard not to succeed.
Speaking of Coach Pagano, on September 26th, he's diagnosed with leukemia. Then on October 1st, the players find out the same day that everybody else finds out. What was that day like, and how did you guys draw inspiration from watching Chuck Pagano go through what he did and make a comeback?
It was wow, that was a crazy day. So disheartening, so heartbreaking, because here's a guy that is so energetic, healthy, positive, just a great human being. He really is. And I think anyone that would get to meet him would say the same thing. And to hear that news was really hard to take. But our team really came together, under the leadership of Bruce Arians, then that when he took over, just did a fantastic job of continuing to preach what Coach Pagano taught us: loyalty, trust, respect. Those are the kind of the 3 words under the horseshoe that we followed this year, and we did that. And I think we did it for Coach Pagano. It was more than just about winning football games. It was about providing that hope for him to fight through what he was going through and get back healthy and eventually get the chance to coach us again.
What was it like when he was back on the field with you guys, or when he visited with you in the locker room during the healing process?
Well, it was just amazing, because a lot of things kind of went unseen. I think just a few weeks into the whole, once he first got released from the hospital, after he had been there, I can't remember exactly, maybe 8 weeks, he was back in the office the next day. And just to see him in there, lively, just making jokes and talking to you was a huge inspiration. And now he wasn't the same. He had lost a lot of weight. His hair was missing. But to see a person go through that and still have the strength to come in, and just the absolute care he had for his players and coaches was something that I'll never forget, and I think was huge just for anybody that would have seen him that day.
Did you feel like the team really fed off that experience?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I think where there's definitely a negative thing that happens, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I think it was all part of a greater plan. And I don't know if we would have won 11 games and gone to the playoffs if it wasn't for Coach P coming back or getting sick and then coming back and us kind of rallying together for him. And then just the entire Colts community coming together for him. It was really kind of just a surreal moment.
What's that situation like? Because the Colts take Andrew Luck with the #1 pick in the draft, and then they take you on the back end of the draft. You're both rookies trying to earn your spot in the league. What's that dynamic like in the locker room?
Once you get your foot in the door and you start playing with a team, it doesn't matter where you got drafted. It doesn't matter what school you came from, who you played against, how tall you are, how fast you are. It's if you can perform. And once you get your foot in the door, everyone puts that aside, and you're just teammates. It's like what you'd think in a high school locker room or a college locker room. It's just normal. We're buddies. We joke around with each other. We're hard on each other. We make fun of each other. Anything you can think of. We're friends and teammates and coworkers at the same time. But you don't think of it like that as, he's the first pick, I'm the last pick. Now, some people have made jokes about being Mr. Irrelevant, but you just take it in stride and you kind of use it to your benefit.
Was there ever a moment where it was a welcome to the NFL type moment for you?
Welcome to the NFL. Not really. I just, I didn't want to overthink the situation. I just wanted to go in there, compete, have fun, study hard, be as prepared as possible, and just play football. And, Andrew not being there early on during like OTAs and things like that definitely probably helped me because I was able to get a lot of reps. And, that's just an invaluable experience that you can use towards your development. The coaches, really put a lot on my plate early on. I guess if I were to think of one situation, I remember, I think it was day one when we had our helmets on and the whole team was out there. We had most of our vets. And I called the play in the huddle. I went to the line of scrimmage, sent the receiver in motion. I looked over. I didn't even realize, here comes Reggie Wayne in motion. So I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I got Reggie Wayne in motion coming on a play, and I didn't even know it at the time. And then I snapped the ball, dropped back, threw it to Reggie, bad throw, incompletion. But I remember just kind of being awestruck at the time, like, wow, my first play as a Colt during practice, first live rep, I was throwing the ball to Reggie Wayne. So that was pretty cool.